For expert analysis on this development, economist Saheed Ajadi joins me right here in the studio. Mr. Ajadi, thank you for joining us.
Good evening.
And Happy New Year to you.
Same to you.
So, Mr. President is emphasizing the critical role of state governors in driving Nigeria's development. After all, they get 65% of federal allocation. He's also saying that their leadership at the subnational level is central to achieving food security, economic prosperity, and rapid national growth. What do you make of this development?
Yeah, thank you. It's a fact. He's telling the obvious that has been in the past, and the sharing ratio of Nigeria and review of the economy. Don't forget, our president that was once a governor, so he knows what he's talking about. And the reality is that the governors are the ones that are very close to the grassroots.
Indeed.
You can hear what the chairman of the Governors Forum said. You cannot export what you don't have in excess. It's an aberration for you to say to the president, while you are the representative mouthpiece of the governor saying that people are exporting, that we have a bumper harvest. It means that you lack responsibility as a constituted authority to monitor and manage an economy.
You did say they're buying and keeping in the silo. Perhaps
no, he said now they are buying and keeping in the silos. You should have mediated all this, because look at the regions when we were in the regions. The time Western region was Awolowo. Awolowo was arranging all the associations into a cooperative. That's why you have cooperative bank. Cooperative bank existed because you had cocoa, you had cashew, you had palm oil and all of that. And they were generating income. That does not stop the consumers buying very, very cheap. Because even when the prices are low in export, Awolowo will benchmark the price and make sure the farmers don't suffer the low prices. They still maintain the international price, and the people in the society still manage to eat. So that is government. So when you say that, that means that you're lacking in your responsibility. And the president is telling you these are your responsibility. Federal government does not own land. It is the state that owns the land. So if the federal government is going to partner in farming, it's going to work with the state governors and the local government. And he's saying again, the autonomy is not against anybody. The local governments must develop, because that is where the people reside. So he cannot promise us, saying that he wants to do stuff for us as Nigerians when he was trying to campaign, and is trying to actualize those things now. He has to make sure all the quagmire and all the things that are the bottlenecks are removed. And that is why he's saying, look, if you remember very well, let's go back to it again. When he was the governor, Obasanjo refused to pay Lagos State because he established LGAs. But today, what has happened to those LGAs? Are they better off for it in Lagos State or not? They are. And that means that economy, creation of wealth, and jobs have been established over time, irrespective of the fact that they are not recognized by the Constitution. But the ones that are recognized by the Constitution, the state governors are holding them to ransom. The funds that are supposed to get to them go first to the state governors. They borrow against it, do their own contracts and their own jobs in their budget, forgetting the people. And it is the people that own the local governments.
Absolutely.
That's what is happening.
So, you know, interestingly, Mr. President is this day's man of the year.
Yes.
They say he's bold and courageous, he's taking all of the tough decisions. For that, he has been called names, he has been abused. He's the one making the tough decisions. But according to him, governors are the one getting the money because the allocation has increased and they get the lion's share. Do you think we're holding governors accountable enough, you know, the subnationals,
Not at all.
as regards the condition of our economy?
Not at all. I was once a contestant. That's the reason why I contested. Because I realized that it's a time waste. It's a cycle that wastes time. Where time is being wasted. You want to be a governor of a state. You don't have a plan. If you fail to plan, you have planned to fail. The reality is that you must have a blueprint. And see why you keep saying it. We have planned for Lagos State over 25 years, and it's been actualized. It's called transformational leadership. We have masters in this. Okay? So we know what we're all about. What we're saying is that put square pegs into square holes. Let the right people govern. Why would you become a governor of a state and you don't know what you're there for? Firstly, you're supposed to have food security in your state. There is no reason why your community will be calling for hunger. Rain fell for 7 months last year. 7 months. There's nothing you put in the soil in Nigeria that will not germinate.
Are you from Kwara?
No.
I just want to be sure that you're not attacking the Kwara state.
No. I'm a Nigerian. I'm just being realistic.
Which state did you contest?
Your state.
Your state.
Yes.
Oh,
we have farm settlements, moribund farm settlements. I don't want to stay here and point or cast aspersions. No, because I'm in opposition. No. But I'm telling you about Nigeria. I have always lived here, and I've always worked here, and I believe strongly. Look at what the Vice President said. We are turning around. We're definitely turning around. Earlier in the last year, I came here on the show. They were asking questions. I said, look, they will beg us to buy petrol in this country. With what we are doing now, we are the largest exporter of PMS and AGO in Africa right now, believe it or not. Because Dangote now would have to fight and challenge the market with NNPC going forward. Because if Port Harcourt, that has been moribund for 24 years, is working or trying to work, yeah? And Warri is starting to work now, which I said 6 months ago here. I said it. I said, look, the president, you have asked for a date for it to function again. He has told you September. And Mayor Kyari has refused to see another date from there. For me, as a manufacturer and a businessman, I know that they are trying to get this right and not mention another date so that they don't embarrass themselves again. But I will tell you something for a fact. Warri will work before the end of this year.
Well, according to NNPC, it's working at 60% capacity now.
This is what we're talking about. This is planning.
And hopefully Kaduna comes up.
It will come on. Yeah. So what it means to us is that prices will come down.
But you heard the Vice President mentioning robust economic activities, greater prosperity in the new year. What are some key indicators you'll be watching to measure the success of all of these efforts with in the new year?
I believe in what the President said about trying to drive down the inflation from 34 to 15%.
Which many said is not realistic.
Very, very huge. But you can work towards it. I'm an accountant. I'm an economist. I believe. Because, you see, I have watched this man as a patriotic Nigerian say things and act towards it. Things that Nigerians believe is not possible has been possible with our president over time. He doesn't believe in no. So, for me to say no is not going to work now is as if I've forgotten synopsis of Nigeria and what he has been able to do.
All right. Let's take a short break, and when we return, we'll take a closer look at some of the indices that Mr. President will be working with in the course of the year. Stay with us, everyone. Thanks for staying with us, everyone. Economist Saida Jadi is right here with me in the studio. Thank you also for staying the course of the program. So we're looking at some economic indicators here. Mr. President highlighted several positive indicators, including decrease in fuel prices, foreign trade surpluses. He also mentioned a strengthened naira. At some point, he said that his administration has met all its financial obligations without resorting to NNPC help for funding. Do you think these accurately reflect the state of our economy? What do you make of these indices?
It's very strategic for me, and I think that it's in the right direction. That's why I said it's very ambiguous, but if you work towards it, you can achieve it. What do I mean? It's very cloudy and misty now. There's Harmattan haze. What it tells me, as a man that has been in Nigeria for over 50 years, is that we're going to have a bumper harvest. We're going to have a lot of carrots. We're going to have a lot of cabbage. We're going to have a lot of cocoa. We're going to have a lot of palm oil. We're going to have a lot of cashew. So it means that a lot of Indians in Nigeria right now, from January 1st to April the 31st, what are they doing? They are buying off our derivatives and exporting. So if government is telling us that it's possible, Nigerians must get involved. Banks must get involved. Banks must be able to support the economy and give loans. If an Indian man comes to Kogi State, for instance, and sits in a hotel for 4 months, and all the containers at the port for export, they are telling you it's booked. As a Nigerian, you can't get it. From now till April, you cannot get it. They own it. And they pay. What's that telling you about Nigeria? Nigeria is a hot cake. But we that own the country, we are, I don't know what we call it. It's as if there's myopia or something is covering our eyes to see the reality of the situation. This is a gold mine for you as a Nigerian. Why are you not tapping into it? Why is a foreigner making out of it? So we are getting percentages of what we can get. So if the tax system is covered properly and the gaps are merged into single digits, inflation will come down. If there is bumper harvest and we have a lot of derivables, that's what Awolowo did for 8 years. Awolowo only sat for 8 years. He only worked on derivables, and he was able to make a lot of dollars and pound sterling. Even when the prices were crashing, he benchmarked with having a lot of supply and resources. So he can buy off, warehouse, control the price. This is what Aruba woman or man comes from, I keep saying in Kebbi State. Rice, for instance, is an example. We gave money to produce rice. One governor from the north said now that we are in overproduction. If we are in overproduction, our markets are not showing overproduction. It's revealing that as if there's a scarcity. So why is price going up? There's demand for it. Why are you ordering? So CBN and federal government must say that, okay, farmers, in your association, you must be accountable for 965 billion given to you by Buhari's government. Rice is produced as 15,000 in Kebbi State, for instance. You go there, they shell it with a fan right there, and you have brand new bags, imported bags, being given to you. Is it a price you want? Is it Big Bull or whatever you want? And you bag it, Nigerian rice. And you bring it to Lagos, and you say it's imported. You're selling at 120. You're supposed to be arrested or cautioned or fined, because this is part of the corruption. So it's not government. We have a problem. Followership has a big problem. We are stifling ourselves. We don't love each other. So the message the president is trying to get to us is that, look, governors, you are responsible for the people directly, number one, in the Constitution. So do your responsibility to the people. Monitor your society. Why should palm oil be selling at this rate? We are competing with exporters that are coming to the Alarobos or the producers and telling them, okay, take this 10 million, take 100 million, produce for me alone. Why is government not involved?
Are you factoring other indices like transportation cost, which, the price of fuel has also impacted?
That's an overhead. That's an overhead. That is not the right. Like I said to you, I'm a producer. I did raw material trade 30 years ago. I paid school fees from raw material trade, cashew, palm oil, palm kernel in Ibadan 30 years ago. Paid school fees. The business is lucrative. You don't need to leave Nigeria to make. Dangote did not leave Nigeria to make billions. You have market. Our population is an asset. We are not tapping the right situations. If government is involved in rice production, and I'm producing as a governor rice, and you come as a farmer and say you want to sell your rice at 50,000, and I have bags of rice, and I know that the people voted for me, I will sell my rice at 15,000. It's a continuum. It's a budget. The budget of last year has gone. You cannot go back to it. So I have nothing to lose. But I will break the market with my production. I will drive my production, break the market. Then the next time the woman or the man that goes to the market will think twice. Yeah, why should I buy a tuber of yam 5,000 naira in Lagos? It's crazy. It's an aberration.
So at the center of Mr. President's strategy of driving down the inflation rate is boosting food production.
Food production.
And promoting local manufacturing. Yeah. But it means that we have to get security right. As we speak right now, bandit leader Bello Tuji is threatening to rain fire and brimstone in Zamfara State. How well do you think we're doing?
He's a joker. For me,
the military says he's a dead man walking, yes, but he's still walking.
I believe he's going to be off in a matter of weeks. You see, what the military has done in the last 1 year, they have not done in the last 14 years. So I know that if we want to do stuff in Nigeria, it's going to be done. I believe strongly in our military. They've had the past successes all around Africa. Today, they will get told, Turkey is a small boy. He's a rat. As far as I'm concerned, they are just still playing. There's technology to pick up these boys, if we really want to do it. And I can see that the military architecture right now, they're ready for business, because the things that they refused to give Nigeria before, they have started giving us. Maybe because there is a lot of diplomacy being played by the president now and all the powers that be and all of that, because there's a lot of bias towards Nigeria and Africa. But that's another topic, because if we start that now, we're not going to live here.
In his New Year Day speech, he talked about Value Charter and a national orientation program. It's a new year, and Nigerians are coming off a very challenging 2024. As far as they are concerned, it's the cost of food, the cost of drugs, which Mr. President also acknowledged in his speech. What kind of solidarity and cooperation do you expect from Nigerians for this government at this time?
Patriotism. It's our nation. That's period. Just love your country. Things will change. There's no way in the world. When we're saying that some members of his party were showing camera saying that people are hungry even in the Southwest, I felt very ashamed for the man, because even in Canada, they budgeted to give people 1,000 hot meals. 15,000 people arrived for the hot meal. They were only able to give 2,000 out of the 15,000. And they have a record of 15,000 people, even willing to speak to the camera. That's a first nation. Talk less of Nigeria. We are going through a time where there's been moribund production for the past 20-something years. Okay, what did the PDP do for 16 years? They sold all our properties. We have not produced anything except crude oil. And we were not producing at optimal capacity. We didn't even have light, and we invested so much. But now, 18 months down the lane, we can see a lot of progress. Yes, it's daunting and challenging. Yes, we are here. We don't have to jack out or do anything. Yes, we must manage. That's part of development. We will change. It is us. It is our president. It's Nigeria.
Hopefully we get more people to share your kind of optimism.
I believe in
about
Nigeria.
Economist Said Ojadi.
Very easy.
Thank you
it's
so
not
much
difficult.
For joining us on the program.
The pleasure is mine always.
Compliments of the season.
Same to you.
That's our show today, everyone. You can watch it again at midnight and at 6 a.m. tomorrow. I am Nifemi Oguntoye.